Hey you guys, welcome to My Table 3. My name is Keri and today is Friday, July 20th, and I wanted to come in with that weekly video that I promised you guys, so thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I am going to share with you guys a recipe, my flaxseed crackers that I made earlier in the week, and I recorded a little bit while I was doing that to show you how I do my crackers. Now, I am going to show you how I do those on my dehydrator that I just recently purchased. If you do not have a dehydrator, you can also dry those out in the oven really slow on a low temp. I'll try and put a card at the end that gives you instructions on how to do that. So yeah, I'm going to share that with you in just a little bit. And first I'm just going to share, it is Friday, so it was my official weigh day. And today I am officially down, listen, 15 pounds. So I'm super excited. You know, you really can't tell on yourself, but I feel a lot better. I really think that the organic food and the meats and things, and the little things that we've made recently has really helped me feel better. I've also started taking a few supplements like a valerian root for mood and just to keep my hormones going. I say hormones, but I'm not a doctor, so I don't really mean that. I just meant just to help me feel better, have more energy, since I'm working full-time, homeschooling, and trying to keep up with the blog and the house and family life. I've been taking some B12, some milk thistle, which is like just to support liver health and things like that. I learned about that from my friend Jennifer over at A Home with a Purpose, and I'll link her channel below, her blog below, sorry. I think she has a YouTube channel. I'll put that link below too. I totally love her. If you follow Trim Healthy Mama, you've probably seen Jennifer in some of the groups. She used to be one of the admins in the big groups, but she still does blog, and I'll put those links below. Sorry. I don't know what that is, fuzz or something that's distraction in my squirrel brain. But anyway, I'll put all that down. So I have started taking that milk thistle just to support my liver and things like that. So I think I'm feeling better, a lot better actually than I was. And I actually have started losing weight again. So I'm down 15 pounds like I said. And so I couldn't be more thrilled. It does make me a little bit sad that I have started losing weight again when I removed a lot of the dairy products, which I'm a huge fan of because I love cheese and I haven't had it in weeks now, so I am just sad about that. But you know, I'm not saying I'm not ever going to have cheese. If I can find some organic cheese or just cheese every once in a while, I probably will, because I don't see my life living my life without cheese, but we'll see. So yeah, down 15 pounds, super excited you guys. And yeah, so let me know in the comments below, you know, if you like seeing weight loss updates, or if there's some other kind of videos that you'd like me to show in these weekly videos, since I am just managing to get out one a week, and hopefully I'll start getting out more, but I can't promise more than one a week. And so yeah, this week I promised you the crackers, and I'm going to give you the crackers. So go ahead and watch this video and tell me what you're thinking below as far as what kind of videos you would see or like to see in the future. And now I'm just rambling, so I'm trying to wrap this up and get to the crackers because I got a few haircuts. The boys need haircuts. I need to do that today. And then we're going to go out to dinner and things like that. So I hope you're having a good Friday, enjoying your coffee if you're still early. I know it's probably later in the afternoon before I get this video out. So I'm going to start rambling, you guys. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. And now I'm going to plug in the footage here of earlier this week while I made our flax crackers. And thanks for liking, comment, and subscribing on this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Alright guys, so here it is. I kept the box so I could show you guys. This is my new Nesco Snack Master with jerky kit, which I'm super excited about trying my hand at jerky that's low carb and sugar free, and Trim Healthy Mama S. Could probably do a low fat, low carb jerky as well, but I'm more interested in the S because those are my favorites, like beef. So, and maybe venison, because we do have a lot of venison in the fall and stuff. So I had one of those old dehydrators that I used a ton for things like crackers and dehydrating fruit for my son, because it's so much better for him than the candy. Still sugary, but better than just processed candy. Can make sugar-free, just no sugar added fruit roll-ups and things like that. Well, basically someone gave it to me free years ago, and I had to get another one because it just quit. So I'm just going to pan. This is the box that it come in, and I got this for about $57, $58 on Amazon, and I'll put the link below. And I'm just going to show you what all it come with. It come with this recipe and instruction booklet, which has a ton of tips for drying and pictures and steps. Just great things. Food drying guidelines. It tells you how long, what you can use those dried things for. There's the dried fruit roll-ups. There's how to clean your machine in here. There's drying herbs. There's an index. So yeah, lots of great pictures in there, different things. So comes with the recipe book, which a lot of these, I'm not sure if they'll be low carb. I haven't looked at all of them. The great thing about this is it also comes with this kit here for the beef jerky, which I don't know if I'll ever use this. It's like you put the meat in here, and then you put this in, and you add these tips over there. Like you can do these. These are like Slim Jims, you know. That's what this is for. Well, at least that's what I'm guessing, I think. And then this is for like the strips of beef jerky. But the beef jerky I'm going to do, I'm just going to slice it real thin and lay it on my trays and do it. So then you would put the meat in there. So it comes with this, and it also comes with a ton of beef jerky spices. And of course the recipes are in this book. But I gave those away to my sister-in-law for her husband. He makes deer jerky and stuff, and since we avoid MSGs and processed mixes and things for health reasons, I don't use that. So I gave it all to her, and I'll just mix up my own marinade and stuff for my. And so moving along, it also come with these two clear trays here, which these are your fruit roll-up mats and things that like fruit leather, you know, you would put on here so it doesn't seep through the holes of the trays that I'll show you. Here's a mesh liner that you can do. I like to do my bananas and things on this, and this came with 2 of the mesh and 2 of the plastic fruit trays, which was awesome. I think it's an awesome price for what you get. Now I'm going to show you a little bit about the dehydrator itself. Now this dehydrator, it's not the most expensive one you can get. Of course, there's the Excalibur and things like that, which I would love to have, but just way out of my price range right now. One day I hope to have an Excalibur dehydrator, but right now this one I am in love with. It's a great price. It does the trick. So I'm super excited about it and super excited to share. So the first thing I'll do is show you the top. It has a, make sure you guys can see it. This, just the brand name across there. It's super heavy and durable, and the fan is built into the top, which I really like because the last one I had, it was in the bottom and it was hard to clean the unit, but this one is easy to clean. So the fan is here. Of course, it can't be submerged in water or anything, but this is a temperature dial, which I am so excited about because my old one did not have anywhere where you could set the temperature, but this one you can, from 95 degrees Fahrenheit all the way up to 160 degrees Fahrenheit. And that booklet will tell you what to set things on, or you can Google it, and Pinterest has a lot of ideas if you can't find it. Here's just a basic like herbs and spices, 95 degrees Fahrenheit, nuts, seeds, crafts. So it gives you some direction there. So I really love that I can set my temperature there. And then this one, like I said, come with 5 trays, and you can see they're just plastic trays with the traditional. They feel pretty sturdy. They feel a little bit sturdier than my old one, so I'm excited to see how long they last. You can buy additional trays on Amazon, up to 12, I believe. But this one, like I said, come with 5, which is it's just good for me right now. So that's what I'm gonna start on. And then the base, like I told you, is just a solid base. Totally washable. You can rinse it out. I don't know if I'd put it in the dishwasher. I'll have to see if it's dishwasher safe. I have not gotten that far. But like I said, it's super washable. My last one was hard to wash. I had to wipe it out because the motor and fan was in the bottom. And I also had to rotate my trays on the old one in order for them to all be dried at the same time. And this one is amazing. You do not have to do it. So this is how I store it when I'm not using it. I rinse it and wash it down. I put the plastic things in there, and then that's how you have it. And I'm just going to roll this back in here and show you a little bit about the back. Okay. So it tells you it has an adjustable thermostat from 95 degrees to 160 degrees Fahrenheit. This is a 500 watt dehydrator. I know there are more powerful ones out there, but this one worked excellent for the budget I had. So if you're on a budget and you're just starting out dehydrating, or you want to learn, or you're just getting it for simple things like crackers I'm about to show you, this is a great place, a great machine to start with. I'm looking forward to using it for many years. And like I said, you can see from the bottom that it will stack from small. Like if you don't want to use all 5 trays, you can just use a couple of trays. When I don't use my trays, I just leave them empty in there, and you can go up to 12. So that's about all. It does tell you that there's a flow here that has a fast drying action. No need to rotate the trays. Yeah, I am super excited. Again, there's a look at some jerky that they've done. I can't wait to share some of those with you, and I bumped the camera, so sorry. So anyway, that is my new dehydrator that I purchased. It's still a great price on Amazon. I'll put my affiliate link below in case that's something you guys want to take a look at. And right now I'm going to show you a recipe for my flax crackers. I will put my original recipe from my blog, the poppy seed flax crackers, below so you can have a general idea. I do eyeball mine now. I've made them so much. So I'm going to make them the way we want them today, which is without poppy seeds. I may put some sesame seeds or something, but this is what I'm going to be using. And let's get to that recipe now, and I'll show you how I use this Nesco food dehydrator. Alright guys, here is my handy dandy, I call this my cracker bowl. It's just a cheapy old plastic bowl that I always use to mix my crackers in. I use it over and over and over, just like the pan that I'm going to bake my crackers on that you'll see shortly. So let's start off. And again, just a reminder, I will put the link to the original recipe down below. Now I've made these crackers so many times, I do just do them differently each time, but the basic recipe is below, and you'll see that you can adjust it pretty well. So the first thing we're going to start with is flax meal, which I prefer the Bob's Red Meal flax meal. This is organic golden flaxseed meal. It's pretty fine, and I do prefer the golden, but if you don't, you have the dark brown, that'll work just the same. So I'm going to do 2 cups of this. I'm just going to pour the... Guys, I'd make these so many times, I don't even measure them anymore, but I'm going to measure them here for you guys. So 1, 2 cups of the golden flax meal. Then I am going to do 1/4 cup of my Trim Healthy Mama oat fiber. Then I am going to add in something I really like the flavor of, and it won't focus, but this is nutritional yeast. Now this is not an active yeast. This is just a dry form of yeast. It's good for you. It's high in vitamin B's. It has a great cheesy, nutty flavor, and since I am trying to avoid cheese and things like that, this gives these crackers a nice flavor. Now, I am going to go ahead and add a little bit of Parmesan grated cheese in here because it's just a little bit spread out through this whole batch of crackers, and I wanted to use up this a little bit of cracker. But if you are avoiding cheese or dairy, of course you can always leave that out. And then I just put whatever kind of flavorings I want in it. This time I'm going to do garlic powder and onion powder and even a little bit of salt. I'm not measuring. Like I said, I've made these so much that it's crazy. I can do it in my sleep. So you guys take a look at the recipe below and just use that as a guideline and modify it if you need to. That's garlic powder, onion powder. Let me grab the salt real quick. Just a shake or two of salt in here. It does have that Parmesan cheese in it, but I think it needs a little bit more salt. Now, the original recipe that I'm going to link below has poppy seeds in it. And I have poppy seeds in the fridge, but I don't always make them with poppy seeds. I'm just going to mix this up, and then I'm going to show you what I use instead of poppy seeds. You don't have to put any kind of nuts or seeds in them. You can just make the regular flax. And I believe also these would be an S because of the fat in the Parmesan cheese and the flax meal. But, you know, and in the original recipe, I use almond milk, but I a lot of times we'll just use water, guys. And if you want to do that and save your almond milk, it tastes just as good. It's just when I started making it first, I used almond milk. Okay, so the thing I'm going to use instead of the poppy seeds this time is sesame seeds. I'm not even going to measure. Just going to kind of put those in and stir them around. And so that is the base for these crackers, guys. These flax crackers that I'm going to make in my dehydrator. If you don't have a dehydrator, you can bake them in the oven. Take them off of the cookie sheet that you bake them on. And then actually put them, you know, after you separate them, and I'll show you how I do that, what I'm talking about. Put them back in the oven on a very low temperature, like 200, to dry them out. 200 degrees, and just watch them carefully, because the only thing about this is you don't want your crackers to burn. You want them to just dry out and get crispy. So that's why I love having the dehydrator. You know, and I know everybody won't have the dehydrator, but I wanted to share this recipe anyway because these are great as crackers. They're good with salads, chicken salad, what else? Any kind of cheese ball or anything like that. So we love them. And with the flax, they're also a great source of omega-3s and fiber. So let me show you how I add in the water. Now this is just a cup of water that I'm going to pour in. And I'll just start, I'll pour in half the cup, and then I'll start mixing, because you want this to form a dough. It's not going to be a perfect dough, but you'll see how it starts coming together. And I just eyeball it. I start with the cup, I add half of it in, stir it around, and you can see it's still dry. It's starting to come together though. You can pinch it and see. Alright, so I hope this camera's not blurry. This one don't focus real well. And then I'm just going to add in the rest of that cup and stir it some more. I think it's going to need a little bit more water, but I'm going to feel it in just a second and see. I'm going to help focus you guys just a little bit. Alright. So you can see it's starting to come together even more. But I'm going to add just a little bit more water. I'll measure it for you guys. So this is about 1/4 of a cup more. Just start and add a little bit at a time. You may or not use, and it just depends on what oat fiber you use too, because some are more absorbent than the others. So it may take a little bit more water, but just start out with that cup, pour in a half, then go up from there. Let's see. See that? Let's see. Focus. Yeah, that's what you're looking for. So I am going to wash my hands. I'm going to focus you guys again. I'm sorry. And then I'm going to show you how I put this on my handy dandy cracker pan that I've used a ton. And we'll roll it out and show you how I do that. So I'll be right back. Alright guys, so we are back. Here is my handy dandy cracker pan. I have used it so much. It's just a Pampered Chef baking sheet. It has no sides, and I have used it so much that it's just showing its seasoning or its usage. But I still love it, and I use it mainly just for these crackers because it's so ugly. But I wanted to show you guys exactly how I make them, and this is my favorite pan. So the first thing I'm going to do is just, of course, spray it with cooking spray so it doesn't stick real bad. Okay, and then the next thing I'm going to do is put half of the cracker dough onto the cookie sheet. I just kind of divide it in half as much as I can. And the first thing I'm going to do is kind of just pat it out. Kind of into like a square, kind of. Doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to roll it out, but I just kind of get it started this way. And wipe my hands. And then the next thing I'm going to do is use some parchment paper, and I'm going to spray it with cooking spray so it doesn't stick to the crackers. Now this is a Dollar Tree parchment paper, and I have discovered I hate it, so I will not be buying it again. It's going to stick. It doesn't roll out well and stick. It's going to kind of crinkle up. So the next thing, my handy dandy, really old rolling pin from my nanny that's my mom passed down to me. I love it. It still works great. It's heavy duty, and this is my favorite rolling pin, even out of the new ones I have. So you're just going to roll your crackers out. You know how crackers are. They're thin. You're going to want to roll them thin. Now you don't want them so thin that they're going to get burnt. And these are not going to be like store-bought crackers, you guys. These are going to be homemade looking crackers, so nothing perfect. So we're going to roll them out. Try and get them even. Now, as you can see, it's going to start, hopefully you guys can see this. Let me move the camera. It's kind of peeking out over the side. I like to peel it back, and I will pull this off and add it down here. Seriously, down here it's coming up the side. I just peel it off, put it right here. There is really no perfection to this, okay? We're just wanting them to taste good. They do not have to be perfect and beautiful. So now we're going to roll out that part that we added there. If it squishes, move some of it over. Put it there. Okay? And we're going to go back and roll it out. Roll it out. The reason you want to get them as thin as possible is because you want them to get crispy and cook all the way through without burning. So, alright. So I kind of just run my hand over it to feel if there's any really thick parts. And then I kind of mush them around. Right here it looks really, really thin. Do you see? You can, if I move it a little bit, you can see that. I'm just going to take some of this and push it in there. Seriously, that forgiving, you guys. That forgiving. I'm going to put the paper over. And I'm going to roll it in to kind of meld it together. Alright, and so that's it, guys. Hopefully you guys can see this. I am trying to film alone with this new camera, so I'm going to pull this back and take a look at it. Okay, and so it is coming off the pan just a little bit over here, so I'm going to transfer some of this off. I'm going to feel around, see if I feel any super thin spots again. I really don't feel a lot, but, and then if it does that, just kind of press it around if you have any real thin spots, or put it back in the bowl and save it for the next batch. But that's it, guys. That's how easy these crackers are. Now, so once we have them rolled out like this, again, not perfection. We're not trying to be perfect here. We're trying to have some snack crackers. So then the next thing I do to cut my crackers is I cut them before they bake, and then I cut them again when they're done. So I take my pizza cutter, just a pizza cutter, and I just start and I just go across. Again, mine are not going to be perfect. I'm just going to try and make squares. So I make them maybe an inch apart, my cuts. You can make them larger, smaller. And I just go all the way down. And of course, there's going to be some that are smaller than others. Once I get my lines going across, I'm going to just turn my pan this way. And I am going to go up. And just try to make them as even as I can. But I'm not sweating the small stuff, guys. So if they're different size crackers, no biggie, right? They're going to taste the same. Hey, it's a bigger cracker, more chicken salad on it. Smaller cracker, you can eat more. Let's make it. Alright, so yeah, I'm just going to use those. So I don't think you can see my cuts. Yeah, there you can. Alright, so I am going to now place these in the oven that's been preheating at 400 degrees. And I'm going to bake these for about 18 to 20 minutes. Usually my oven is about, I don't know, usually about 20 minutes. Now ovens vary, so just watch them carefully. You want them to be golden brown, but not really, really dark. So I'm going to put these in the oven and bake them, and I'll pull them out and show you what they look like in a minute. I'll be back, guys. Alright guys, so these are now out of the oven. They cooked for 20 minutes, and now I'm going to go over the lines that I scored to begin with my pizza cutter again. It's very hot, so be careful when you do that. And you just follow the lines that you cut. This is just going to make them easier to separate with the spatula. Now these will be a little bit hard to get off the pan, but I'll show you how I do it. That's why it's important to spray it good so they're not even. And of course, in the thinner spots, they may break up a little bit. So, okay, so you hear my dishwasher in the background. Sorry. Got to keep it with the dishes. So I'm going to turn them this way and just go down. And you'll see some of them are already start to separate. that's it. And you can see they'll start to come off. And they're already pretty crispy, so that's a good sign. They're not too dark, but they are golden brown. Hope you guys can see. Let me turn the other light on. There you go. It's getting a little bit dark outside, but I wanted to finish this video up. And so then I'll just take my spatula and loosen them up. Some of them, like I said, will come up really easy, like this. And just break them in half. And then others where they're a little bit thinner than others, they may break a little bit or not be perfect. But that's okay. You just kind of work with them and you'll see they're pretty thin. They will not be all crunchy. Some of them will be. I'm going to back up still something. Anyway, so I'm going to finish getting these off. And I'll show you what they look like when I put them on the dehydrator trays. I'll show you a little bit more of this while I get these off. Because it's not all glorious. Not all perfect. I don't think I sprayed it quite well enough. But anyway, this is the really thin spots, but they're still coming off pretty good. There's going to be some that don't come off good, but don't worry about it. Like I said, we're not going to be, for the most part, they come up really easily. I guess I'm going to go ahead and show you how I have my dehydrator setting here that I showed you earlier. And I'm just going to start stacking them on the tray. So let me just show you how I do that. Oops, loud noise. My rolling pin hit the floor. So I'm just going to take the first tray and I'm going to lay them evenly. You don't want them to overlap. You don't want them stacked on top of each other because then the air will not be able to circulate. Hate to reach over you guys, sorry. I'm just going to lay them out like this. Even the little pieces that broke, I keep because they make good salad croutons or even just little bitty dippy crackers. Alright, so I'm not going to bore you guys with all the details. There is my first tray right there. I am going to finish getting these up. And I'll put them on a couple more trays. And then I'm going to bake the second batch. And then these I will make sure that I will plug the dehydrator in. Set them on 115 degrees Fahrenheit. And then I will let them dry overnight. And there's no need to change out the trays or switch them around. But I'll let them dry overnight. And then I'll show you what they all look like tomorrow and how crunchy they are. So I'll be back in a few minutes for you guys. But in the morning for me. Alright guys, it is the next morning and I'm about to show you what my crackers look like after dehydrating. I put them on late last night and it is about 8 o'clock in the morning. I just haven't got them off simply because I was enjoying my coffee and the few hours that I have before I have to go in and work 10:30 to 7:30 today. So it has been on 115 degrees and I'll unplug it and show you guys. It's been set on 100 and let me see if I can focus for you. 115 degrees all night. Now you don't probably have to leave it on all night. If you do it early enough in the morning, you would be able to let me focus again. You would be able to sorry guys, this camera's not autofocus. It's just my camera I normally shoot my blog pictures with. I need to get a video camera. So if you have a favorite video camera that you use for your YouTube, leave a comment down below and tell me which one you like, because I am currently saving for one and hopefully I'll get a new one soon where I don't have to use this focus and all that. So now back to the crackers. You don't have to do them overnight. The crunchier they are, if you want them very crunchy, the longer you leave them on. So I would recommend at least 5 or 6 hours. So if you got them on early in the morning, you would be able to, you know, just leave them during the day and they'd be done during the evening. But a lot of times I'm running late. You guys know how moms are. We're busy all day or I'm working and I don't have much time. So I end up doing them later in the evening and get them on and do them all night. These are one of my best-selling items in my little bake shop that I do for Trim Healthy Mama friends in the area. They love these. And so this is what they look like. You see I just made a few. This is a smaller batch. Sometimes I double it, but I just spread them out on the trays. This dehydrator has 5 trays and I only use 4. So, and you don't have to worry about rotating the trays. It gets them dry all the way to the bottom. And I thought I would show you how crispy they are. So here's one. You can hear it snap, which is a good thing. And these are really tasty. I'll show you another from down here. Here's one from the bottom shelf. I was going to show you. It snapped, just as crispy on the bottom shelf. And that's it, guys. The next thing I will do is I will store these. These need to be stored in like an airtight container. So if you have any plastic containers, you can store them in. But hold on one second, I'll show you what I do. I should have had this ready, but I didn't. I just used an old-fashioned mason jar. So I just drop them in, and it'll take a couple. But, you know, you could always do it in a Ziploc bag if you have a really good Ziploc bag that's real airtight. So I just put them in here in a couple of mason jars, and I'll put the lids on and just store them in my cabinet. So, yeah. That's how I do my flax crackers. Again, the recipe in below will say poppy seed flax crackers, but you guys, you saw as I did these, you can add any kind of flavorings. You could add a dill. You could add, if you wanted to do half flax, half almond meal, you could do that as well. That's a great flavor. I just did flax this time because I didn't want to, I only have a little bit of almond meal left, and I don't want to use it on crackers. And we like the flax just as well. So yeah. So I'll just put those in a jar, as you see there. And then I'll use one of my, watch me not be able to find one now, but of course I can't. Anyway, I have a, anyway, craziness, but I have some lids that will just go on and keep these airtight and crunchy. And so I'll go ahead and put the rest in another jar, and there we have our crackers for the week. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video and learning this recipe of my flax cracker. Like I said, if you don't have a dehydrator but you're interested in getting one, I love this one so far. I plan on doing more recipes for the blog, like biscotti and some other crackers. But this one was a fairly decent price. I believe it's like $50 or $55. And it's awesome. You can set the control. It comes with a whole beef jerky set. And you can do low-carb crackers and Trim Healthy Mama S. So there's my crackers, guys. I hope you have a great week. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you next time on the next video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.